Summer. Welcome back to Champion the Passion, a weekly pro wrestling podcast where we inspire you to champion your passions and celebrate the joy in what you love. I'm your host. My name is Victoria Daisy, and today we're going to be recapping everything that happened last night on Friday Night Smackdown. But before we dive deeper, don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms, and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. But let's dive right into the opening segment with the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. Okay, now before Brock could even get a word out, R-Truth came out and started rapping. First of all, that was a gag. Didn't think he was going to come out and do that, but he did. And Truth wanted to be the first person to welcome Brock back. And then he said that he's not scared of Brock because Brock is just not that big of a deal to him. He acted like he ruled the world, but Brock wasn't fazed by his confidence. And after Truth said that, he said that he's mad that Brock beat up his childhood hero, John Cena. And Brock said that the only thing he's looking for is John Cena. And so he asked Truth, let me ask you before I smash you, do you know where John Cena is? And he basically was like, no, I don't. And so he said, okay, get out of my ring. And Truth tried to plead his case that he just wants to, quote, defend his older brother, John Cena. And then Brock F5'd him because he just wasn't having it. And then the funniest thing happened when he F5'd Truth, he actually ripped the back of his jeans, like where you saw his underwear. It was the funniest thing ever. And you could tell that he was like honestly embarrassed, but like there was nothing he could do about it. Like thousands of people in the arena saw it, millions at home just saw it, and it was like the funniest thing ever. And he really broke character then. He was just cackling, making jokes, and we saw personality to Brock Lesnar, and I loved that. And you can never go wrong opening a segment with R-Truth. Even though it did feel very filler, this whole show last night felt very filler. I did really think, though, that it was funny just for that one part. But let's head into the first match of the night. We had a United States Championship match. Sami Zayn defending against Rey Fenix. Now, this was honestly a really good match. Like, the athleticism and the fast-paced action of it all was just wild. I mean, I thought that they worked really, really well together. And I was just very pleasantly surprised by all the spots they put together, how clean it was, the storytelling, everything about it was just really, really good. But, of course, in the end, Sami Zayn did retain. Then we had a supposed match between B-Fab and Julia, but that didn't even really happen because they just broke out into a brawl, and it was giving filler because the match didn't happen. So we're just going to move right past that and go into the women's championship match. Tiffany Stratton defending against Jade Cargill. Now, this match was interesting because Tiffany was being as clean as can be, but Jade was so messy. Oh my gosh. I mean, I used to love Jade Cargill. If you guys remember when she first came to WWE, I was hyping her up like crazy because I thought she was going to be the same woman that she was in AEW here in WWE, but this was an absolute horror show. Like, this girl was bad. In the ring, I was shocked. Like, it was getting to a point where I was getting secondhand embarrassment. I was cringing. I mean, it was embarrassing, honestly. Tiffany was carrying that entire match. She did everything the best she could, but Jade just couldn't even meet par. Like, it was so bad. Like, it was definitely a hard watch. And I really don't want to sit here crapping on the match, but there was nothing good to point out. Tiffany had a couple great moves, but besides that, it was a hard watch. But of course, in the end, Tiffany Stratton did retain, but due to a count out. And then after the match, Nia Jax came out to absolutely obliterate Jade Cargill, which I did really appreciate. But I'm just like, when I saw her come out, I was like, oh my God, here we go again with Nia Jax. And this is why I've been saying they need to do another draft, and champions cannot be immune. They have to be able to switch brands because I am so tired of seeing Nia and Tiffany in the same atmosphere or hemisphere, whatever the freaking word is. I think I just used the wrong word, but you guys know what I'm saying. Atmosphere. I think I'm using the right word. Whatever, in the same vicinity. That's what I meant to say. In the same vicinity. And I'm just so sick of it, honestly. And I really thought, I had predicted on my live stream earlier yesterday that I was like, oh, it would be really fun if Bianca Belair could come out and interfere. Maybe that's like the new match, but that didn't even happen. So I don't know what's going to be the future of Miss Tiffy Stratton and her title and Nia and Jade. It's just a hot mess express over on SmackDown, and I don't want to think about it more than I have to. So let's head into the main event. You heard that right. Main event. We're 5 minutes into this podcast episode, and yes, we are already talking about the main event because there was zero, and I mean zero, things that happened last night on SmackDown. If you missed it by any chance and you're just listening to this just to catch up, you didn't miss anything. You didn't. It's not worth the 2 hours of a watch. I feel like on Raw, there's a difference between Raw and SmackDown, okay? SmackDown is on the USA Network and Raw is on Netflix. There is a higher demand of things to be done on Raw, and WWE is held on a tighter leash when they're on Netflix because Netflix wants the big stars. They want the big moments, they want the longer show, and everything like that. Now, with the USA Network, I don't think that they care that much. They just want the show on the network. And so WWE kind of just does the crappy show. They put a lot of video packages, they do a lot of meaningless segments and matches and random crap that leads to a show like this. And SmackDown has always been my least favorite show just because it's never good. Like, the best thing that's happened all summer was what? AJ Lee's return? That's it. I can't think of one other thing that was fun or exciting or fresh from SmackDown. It was just that. So, whatever. We're going to talk about the main event, even though this episode is going to be super short just for that one reason only, but I digress. So the main event was Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. Now, to be honest, this match was really good. I mean, I enjoyed the storytelling and the spots that they did. I thought that they both worked really well together and brought that vet expertise that we have been desperately needing in matches, considering the horror show we just saw right before that. And I thought it was a really good matchup for the main event slot. But in the end, Drew McIntyre did win, which for me was a bit of a shock until I realized what was about to happen. So after the match, Drew was about to smash Randy into the commentary table like he did Cody a couple weeks ago. But then, shock, surprise, surprise, Cody Rhodes returned. And usually I would be ecstatic with this, but I'm not fully ecstatic because Triple H thought it was just a bright mind idea to announce this days before on the Pat McAfee show. And I usually don't have issues with this, but I think my biggest issue with this is the fact that this is our champion. He was gone for a couple of weeks, and this should have been a fun surprise return. You didn't have to tell us that Cody Rhodes was going to be on SmackDown when we could have just experienced the surprise return, and you probably would have gotten a better response from it than you did because no one was that excited. People popped, obviously, because it's Cody and you're in the arena and you're breathing the same air as Cody Rhodes. I get that. But at the same time, hello? You didn't need to tell us that. And I think we're living in a day and age where Triple H and WWE just loves to spill the beans on everything and not let us have a freaking surprise anymore. Nothing's a shock. We know everything that's going to happen before a Raw and NXT, a SmackDown. And it's just like, I get it. You want to build into anticipation. You want people to watch. But I also want to be surprised sometimes. And that, I think the big shock was AJ Lee and probably Brock Lesnar. But besides those two returns, I haven't even been that shocked since Nikki Bella at the Rumble. That's a far gap in between of time. That's 6 months in between Royal Rumble and SummerSlam that I was actually shocked about something. So, and I'm not just saying those events because I was there. Actually, I could probably say Elimination Chamber I was shocked too about with the whole Jade Cargill mystery thing, but still, and the heel turn from Cena. But still, that is months and months apart of just predictability after predictability. And it's just frustrating. I miss the good old days 10 years ago when we didn't even know what was going to happen. We didn't know if our favorite superstar was going to wrestle or not. We could just try and remember what happened the week before and just pray to God that our favorite star was going to be on TV. I don't know. I'm going on a whole rant, but I don't know. It was very frustrating, and I wasn't that excited about SmackDown last night. I was skipping commercials. I was skipping some of the matches, honestly. I just wanted to get through them because I just couldn't sit there the whole time. And then I ended up just turning it off once it was over, and I put Worlds Collide on, the AAA pay-per-view. It was so good. First of all, that show was so good. And if you guys didn't watch it, you guys definitely should. It's the replays on YouTube. And Dirty Dom, shout out to Dirty Dom. He won the AAA Mega Championship. So now he is 2 belts Dom. And I'm so excited about it. He's going to be so insufferable on Raw next Monday. And I cannot wait. It's going to be great. But let's head into my overall thoughts. I thought it was a really poor show. I'm being honest. My match of the night was Sami Zayn versus Rey Fenix. Out of everything we saw last night, I thought it was the most entertaining and most put together match. We only had one segment, so I don't really have much variety to choose from when I come to my segment of the night segment, if you will. though. But I guess it's gonna have to be Brock Lesnar or Truth, just because that's the only thing that happened last night. And to be honest, it was funny, but just pointless. Overall, I'd rate the show about a solid 4.5, maybe a 5 out of 10 if I'm feeling generous. That is the lowest rating I've ever given a show in Champion the Passion history, which is actually kind of embarrassing now that I'm thinking about it, but it's just like that was a crappy show and I never want to relive that ever again. Let's just move on and focus on All Out and WrestlePalooza next week because I'm done. But next week is really exciting because we have the go home shows for WrestlePalooza, we have the go home shows for AEW All Out, and we have NXT Homecoming. So it's going to be really, really fun. I'm super excited. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching and listening to this episode of Champion the Passion. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. Don't forget to champion your passions and celebrate the joy in what you love. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.